Good afternoon. My name is Jeremy Searfoss, the Fire Marshal for the City of Reading. Present with me today is Fire Chief William Stout, Fire Department EMS Chief Michael Snitsky, Jamal Abdallah, Director of Community Development, and Nate Rivera for the Mayor's Office. On July 29, 2021 at 9:40 a.m., the City of Reading Department of Fire Rescue Services was dispatched to 936 Muhlenberg Street for a reported building fire with people trapped. The first arriving fire department apparatus was on location at 9:43 a.m. Companies arrived to find a 2.5-story residential building with significant fire conditions throughout the first floor, heavy smoke and heat on the second floor. Our members went to work and quickly removed 3 occupants from a second floor front bedroom using ground ladders and the interior stairwell of the building. Simultaneously, as rescue efforts were occurring, other members deployed hose lines to extinguish the fire on the first floor. The second alarm was transmitted at 9:49 a.m. for additional personnel as active fire continued throughout the building. Subsequently, a third alarm was transmitted at 10 a.m. for relief personnel as our members and our mutual aid partners continued to work to extinguish the fire. Despite the heroic efforts of Reading Fire Department firefighters, paramedics, RPD officers, and Tower Health staff, there have been 2 victims that have succumbed to their injuries. Catherine Torres, 32-year-old female, caused of death smoke inhalation and thermal burns. Christian Torres, 9-year-old male, cause of death, smoke inhalation, and thermal burns. The third victim removed is currently hospitalized in critical condition. Alze Torres, 2-year-old female, critical condition at St. Christopher's Hospital in Philadelphia. A fourth victim was removed by a Good Samaritan prior to fire department arrival. That victim is hospitalized in stable condition with smoke inhalation and burns. Based on witness interviews, the origin and cause investigation has determined that the fire originated on the first floor rear kitchen area. The fire developed rapidly throughout the first floor with smoke and heat traveling up an open stairwell to the second floor, trapping the occupants. The cause of the fire was the ignition of combustible items in and around a microwave, most likely related to some sort of cooking operation involving the microwave. The fire has been classified as accidental. I would like to commend the exemplary efforts demonstrated by everyone involved during this tragedy. The level of cooperation between fire department, police, tower staff was extraordinary. We would also like to thank our mutual aid partners who provided relief and additional medical assistance. Lower Alsace Paramedics, Lower Alsace Fire Company, Lifeline EMS, Exeter, Muhlenberg Township Fire Departments, and West Reading Fire Department. The Office of the Fire Marshal would like to remind everyone that smoke detectors provide early warning of fire and dramatically increase the chance of survival for building occupants. We also would like to remind people that the priority during a fire is calling 911 and not trying to extinguish the fire. This delays the fire department to arrive on location, arriving at a larger fire due to that subsequent delay in notification to 911. We also encourage families to develop an exit plan to get out of the house, to find a common area to meet so that they can let the fire department know that everyone is accounted for. At this point in time, I will ask Chief Snitsky to make some remarks on the care of the victims.
Thank you, Fire Marshal Searfoss. Good afternoon. My name is EMS Deputy Chief Michael Snitsky. I'm in charge of the ambulance services for the Fire Department of the City of Reading. I wanted to start off by offering my condolences and my heartfelt prayers to the family and friends of the victims. To briefly summarize the EMS response to the fire yesterday, there were a total of 5 victims. 3 were initially injured critically. 2 have now sadly succumbed to their injuries. The victims suffer what described as 2nd and 3rd degree burns, which are the most critical, as well as inhalation burns. The firefighters enacted a very quick rescue, and our paramedics began aggressive airway management and intravenous fluid therapy and other life-saving measures, and quickly transported all the victims to our local trauma center at Reading Hospital. I can assure the citizens of Reading that our crews did everything humanly possible to work toward a favorable outcome. But unfortunately, this wasn't the case. I asked the public to watch out and to be supportive for the family and friends of the victims, and to seek help or counseling if it is needed during this difficult time. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. We'll ask Jamal Abdallah, Director of Community Development, to say some remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Chief. On July 29th, I was called to the site and based on the request of the mayor, and it was a tragedy witnessed before my eyes. A house engulfed with fire, and lately learned that 2 victims were unfortunately fatally with the situation, the fire itself. My condolences to the family, and this is not a moment that I can speak about it with ease, because when somebody loses a loved one, especially in a fire like that, it hits home with me personally. With the community development program that we have here, Mayor Moran had made it in every possible way that we are here to help our constituents, our residents, and make sure that we make every program possible available for them, especially in time like this. So the process itself starts by Chief Surface offers the information to the victim families as well as the neighboring families, encouraging them to reach out to the Human Relations Commissions, in which time they will be able to facilitate accommodation for them. Most likely that will be through the Red Cross. And then after 3 days with the Red Cross, we have 2 programs. The very first program is called Emergency Solution Grant, and that is a program that is established through the HUD, the Housing Urban Development Program. And there is another program as well that is called Rapid Rehousing. The Rapid Rehousing is a little bit more lenient, as it does not require income verifications. It offers actually 28 days of stay in a place like a hotel, and all these invoices will be paid and shouldered by the Housing Urban Development Programs. And again, in a time like that, we will offer our services and we'll make ourselves available. But my thoughts and my prayers with the victim family and for all those who are affected by that, please reach out to either Human Relations or Commissions or to the Community Development, and we'll be there at your service. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Nate Rivera from the Mayor's Office.
Good afternoon, all. On behalf of Mayor Moran, he sends his deepest condolences. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here due to prior commitment, but he sends his regards, his thoughts and prayers to the family, and also to the awesome staff from the Reading Fire Department. Thank you for your service. Thank you for being heroes day in and day out. I was there and I was briefing the mayor. Within 5 minutes, I was at the scene and I saw their passion. I saw tears. And I saw the passion that they were all trying to assist this family. Also, thank you to the Reading Police for being heroes as well. They were on scene, working together collaboratively. So Mayor Moran extends his condolences to the family and tells the family that we're here to help them. And to all the citizens of Reading to make sure that check on the smoke detectors, make sure that the batteries are working. And if you need assistance with smoke detectors, please reach out to the fire department's office, and also soon Mayor Moran and some partners in the community. We're going to be launching a program to help assist our community when it comes to fire detectors, smoke detectors. Thank you.
Thank you, Nate. We'll now answer any questions if you have any questions to the individuals present.
Okay, I apologize if you already said this. There were no smoke detectors in the house?
One of the parties or one of the occupants reported that there was a smoke detector on the first floor. We did not have anyone else report that they heard this smoke detector sounding, and we could not locate any remains of the smoke detector. Unfortunately, this is an all too common thing. People take smoke detectors down to remodel or repaint, and they say, oh, I'll put them up back tomorrow, and 6 months later, they're not up. So that's why we're urging people to certainly reach out to our office. We'll do whatever we can to facilitate to make sure people have smoke detectors in their homes.
Also, I don't know if you can clarify or expand on, you talked about the fire likely starting somewhere in the kitchen, potentially with combustible things in or around the microwave. Is that metal on something that was put in the microwave? Can you
Sure, I can expound upon that, certainly. We believe there was some sort of cooking operation, some operation involving something in the microwave. At a determinate point, whether it caught fire in the microwave and the door was open and it fell onto nearby combustibles. So at this point in time, we're cautioning people to be mindful of what you put in the microwave. And there has been some history that was reported to us that there was prior issues with items going in the microwave that should not have been in the microwave.
And then the last thing, I know that it's probably very hard to discuss, but Mr. Rivera spoke to it a little bit. That's a really difficult scene for all kinds of responders. Can you just speak to that a little bit? How obviously you're focusing on rescue efforts immediately, but that takes a toll on the people who are working those scenes.
Certainly, our members. I arrived shortly after the second alarm was transmitted. Our members were performed exemplary yesterday. We have some of the best of the best. They're very aggressive at what they do. They serve this community well. We did have counseling available for our members yesterday during the day. The on-duty members that were at that fire did have an opportunity to go to that counseling. And basically, it's like a debriefing, where if they choose to talk, they can. But certainly those services are available. The city also offers services to their employees, and that will continue when that platoon comes back to work next tour. And again, I know that the chief and all of us up here are extremely proud of our members. Just a very, very difficult situation, but that's when the true pride and the true work ethic of our members comes out. Yes, sir.
It seems the fire spread quick. Any idea what caused that grow so quickly?
Correct. So we had very early video after the fire, and there's multiple 911 calls, but we have a lot of cell phone video, which people, the community was very, very supportive when we asked for cell phone video for sharing it with us. The amount of fire with our first arriving apparatus being on scene 3 minutes following a 911 call or following the dispatch, that fire did move very rapidly. Some of that was due to fuel loading in the building. The configuration of the fuels in the building, there was an awful lot of just household items piled up in various locations. And also there is the big issue that we've identified is what we call ventilation openings. The front door was left wide open due to some people in and out of the building prior to the fire department arrival. And the back door that led into the kitchen, or the side door rather, that was also partially open. So that available oxygen allows that fire to grow very rapidly and develop a very potent gas layer which extends through the whole first floor of that house.
I know we spoke about it before in the past that residents, when they have a fire, they try to extinguish it themselves before calling you guys. Is there any indication that happened here?
Correct. We did locate a fire extinguisher outside of the building that was discharged, and we also located a garden hose that the father of the children that does live there stated he did try and use that early on to extinguish the fire. So that's why we're encouraging people. Fire doubles in size every 30 seconds. So it doesn't take long for a small fire to get very large. And the amount of smoke that produces irritates people's eyes, you start coughing, and it can disorient you very fast. There's a high level of carbon monoxide in this smoke because of the items and the types of items that are in our houses today, and that can very quickly disorient someone even in your own home. Any other questions? All right. This press conference, Marcia?
Again, thank you on behalf of City Council for all the diligent work. I've been with you folks when you fought fires. I've been with the families and such. And I know there's a lot of support that Amanda's out for the families, which I think is good. you have any trouble getting the vehicles? Because that's a very narrow street. Because one of my concerns is how people park. Sometimes it makes it very difficult for the fire apparatus to get into position.
To my knowledge, we didn't have any issues with apparatus accessing that street. Thank you. Thank you for your support as well. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Christian.
Good job. Good job.
Thanks again.
Thanks for coming. Good to see you as well. Absolutely.
Thank you
Thank you very much.